Hi, I'm Kelly,
I'm Allison.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Kristen.
and this is Fear and Wine. Hi, welcome to Fear and Wine. We are a podcast about horror TV shows, movies, and more, and we pair each watch with the perfect glass of wine. Today, we are doing a movie. We've just finished a TV show, so we're going to do a couple of films or, what was the other thing? Black Mirror episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
standalones.
yeah, some standalone episodes, and then we will do a little break, and I'll talk about that more next episode. But we will have anywhere from 2, maybe 3 weeks off. We have some teachers in our group and moms and kids that are going back to school and end of summer vacation. So we're just going to get a little break in, and so we can come back with some bonus episodes even too, because we do want to start in on our stories of hauntings and some more haunted history and mysteries, cryptids, all that sort of lore,
excited for
folklore,
that.
and yeah, fun stuff for
Me too.
spooky season. So we want to have
Yeah.
some bonus episodes to plan and launch our Patreon, but we will put some of the bonus episodes on the main feed so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're going to be doing on the Patreon. So we'll have that, but we need a little break to do all that research. So anyways, today's episode, I watched a French film and it is called Mads. I had not heard of it, but I was looking for something a little more obscure. So I went on the Shutter, of course, and did some research and found out that this film is, I guess why it's known is it's 88 minutes, but it's all one single shot. There aren't any edits. And so it's very
Oh.
interesting
That's crazy.
to watch.
It is
It's really
so
cool.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. And you kind of, so when you hear me describe it, it's very action filled. And I guess they did that to make as few lines as possible. Because if you're only going to do one take, you can't have people flubbing lines. So they
Right.
really there isn't too much
Uh.
dialogue or talking. So,
I mean, I
It's
just
very
A
good.
couple
Are there any
episodes of The
behind the
Bear does
scene?
do that. Sorry,
oh,
go
really?
ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk
Yeah.
over you.
No, you're fine.
No, go ahead.
She just said a couple episodes of The Bears.
At least one or two episodes of The Bear that uses that format of.
Oh,
Technique.
Oh, and
Mhm.
The Studio, that show with Seth Rogen. There's a
Yeah,
couple
that
episodes
episode,
for
yeah.
sure where they do the single camera. So it's really
Mhm.
neat.
Yeah, I've seen many movies do like a huge scene, but there aren't too many that do the whole film that way.
Seems so. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I just don't really understand how exactly like that would be edited or like shot.
It's not really edited.
It's not.
So,
No.
well, I explain a little more after we'll do our question, and then I'll tell you why I like it because, well, I guess I can tell you now. I like it because I like the technique of it, and I know the difficulty behind it.
Mhm.
But as a viewer, it's not the most fun because they're moving the camera versus I like the blink feel of editing. So that's what editing, when you do cuts, it's supposed to be like you blink and you just looked at something else
Mhm.
versus my head is now swimming because I'm swinging the camera from side to side and it's going up and down and all moving around the room that way. So it's disorienting to me sometimes to watch it when they don't do a cut because all they do is just pan the camera around quickly.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Does that
It-
mean this movie takes place in one room? You know how I feel
No.
about movies like that. Okay,
I know.
good.
It's all over the place. I will tell you that right now. It's not like those one room ones feel more like a play to me because that's how
Okay.
most like a lot of plays are, especially a one act play that's like really
Mhm.
intense and dialogue. They just sit there and talk. But no, it moves all over the town. Honestly, they're
okay.
everywhere in this thing.
Wild.
So yeah.
Huh.
But our question for today before we get into the movie is, what is your favorite French film and or a movie or TV show that takes place in France?
This was simple for me because I don't watch as many
Watch
movies
a lot
as
of
you guys
French.
do. So I didn't. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of foreign films, so I didn't have a lot to choose from. But I chose the movie Amelie. I'm sure everybody remembers that.
I like that movie.
Mhm.
I loved it.
I have
It's-
that movie.
Do you? I think I
Mhm.
owned it at one
It's
point.
adorable.
It is
Mhm.
adorable. It's just, if you haven't seen it, it's just about a young girl. It's very whimsical. She's just kind of bopping around Paris, and it's just the colors are bright and it's kind of silly, and I don't know, it's almost dreamlike a little bit the way that it's shot, and yeah, it's just like her little adventures all through her town and little cafes, and it just kind of feels a little magical. I don't exactly remember the whole plot. It's been forever since I've seen it. I just remember really loving it, and that was the only thing I could think of that had a French setting whenever.
I think it's a great choice. I mean, I
Yeah,
remember
thanks.
when it came out, most people loving that film, and it's probably been lost to kind of the newer generation a little bit. So I
Mhm.
like the idea of bringing it up. Maybe someone will go watch it and fall in love with
Yeah.
it too.
I hope hope so. I mean,
Absolutely.
when I watched it, I was taking a film class in college, so I was feeling very artsy and very like into somewhat obscure movies. So I felt
Oh, for
like it
sure.
was one of those that kind of fell into that category. So I felt cool, like I knew what this French movie was, but it's
Well, it
one of the
made
only
me
ones I could think
realize just
of.
kind of how uncultured I am now. Like, I don't feel like I watch foreign films anymore. I've become less cultured over time. Isn't that sad?
No, I don't think that's true at
I don't think
all.
that's true because you do watch them, or it might not be films, but you're watching a lot of like foreign stuff on Netflix, just like me. I know you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I guess you're right.
So
Okay.
maybe they're
I
just
was
not
feeling like
artsy films,
bad
but if
about
you think
myself.
about it, I think you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna actually go next because it bounces
Okay.
off of Leah's choice. So one of the directors of Amelie, I'm gonna ruin his name, is Jean-Pierre Jeunet, I think. He did two other films that are two of my absolute favorites of all time, and I'm gonna choose one. I would choose City of the Lost Children. Have either of you ever seen that?
No.
I
Mm-mm.
have not, but I
Oh,
remember you mentioning it before.
oh my God, yeah. It's
Is it
just
scary? It sounds
it,
scary.
It does.
um I mean, no, not really. I think there's an air of almost absurdity to the movie, and it's more, it's more surreal. It took place, I watched it first in the 90s, and it stays in my top five films of all time. So it's not just my favorite French film; it's genuinely one of my favorite films of all time. And the story revolves around this guy who he's like a mad scientist sort of person, and he creates this machine because he wants to like steal dreams from children, but instead he only gets nightmares and it ends up making him super, super old. So he's trying to find innocent children who won't have the nightmares that can help him kind of reverse his age. And it's just a really strange movie, but Ron Perlman's in it,
Oh
actually. You guys know
yeah.
him from
Yeah.
Yeah.
American films, right? But
Hmm.
he speaks French fluently, apparently, because he is in this film. He plays a major role in the movie, but I probably just ruined the whole plot. But it's so
No,
good. It's
because
just
now
so
I want to
good.
You
It's
see it
so
did.
because
weird.
it sounds like a
Okay.
sinister BFG, and I used to love that book.
Oh
Oh, I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
that one, but
BFG,
yeah.
the
yes,
old Roald
City of
Dahl
the Lost
children's book.
Children. No,
Okay, I
I
wrote it
haven't read
down.
that one. Okay.
You've read like Matilda and all those books,
Yeah.
right?
James and the Giant
Okay, he
Peach.
Yes.
has another one in the witches in that same vein. It's called the BFG, the Big Friendly Giant, and he was
Oh.
would it has to do with dreams and children. So that's why
Oh, okay. I'm definitely gonna check that out. The other film that he did, I'll just mention it briefly because it's my backup, would be Delicatessen, and
Right.
that is set in the future where there's no more meat. And it was a 1991 film, same director as this, same guy who did Amelie and City of the Lost Children. And it's kind of like there's this one deli that always has meat. And I'm not going to tell you why it always has meat. You can kind of guess. And the film's just absurd, funny, gross. It's so many things. And it still has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So people like that film too. It's really good. All right,
okay, I
that's it.
wrote
I'm
them
done.
both down. I'm gonna have to check
Yay.
them out.
I think you'd like them both.
Well, mine by no means are foreign films at all, but they take place in Paris. Do you guys remember Madeline, the book with the little girl? And
Yeah.
she's in the. That's the one
Oh
I
yeah.
rewatched yesterday because they made that live action
Oh.
version of it in 1998. And I probably watched it every single weekend when I was a child. I love that
Aw.
movie.
That is so
And I
cute.
love those books. I absolutely loved her. And it still hits the same way now. It was
Aw.
it's still
We peaked
good.
in the 90s, so all the best movies come from the 90s, I
Yeah,
swear.
agreed.
It was so good with the little girls in the school, and then it just brought back memories.
Aw.
And then also, I know Kristen probably won't like it, but Moulin Rouge because it's a musical. Moulin Rouge,
Oh, that's a good one.
but it's also a Baz Luhrmann movie, and I love the way he
Mhm.
shoots movies. I don't know why, I just absolutely love it. So
You know what? I like Baz Luhrmann films because
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet, I love.
yes,
Yes.
So,
hmm
okay.
I love that movie.
Mhm.
yeah, and I think what Elvis was Baz also, and
Wasn't
Gatsby?
Great Gatsby? Yeah.
yeah,
Great,
I
Oh,
just
yeah,
love
was
those.
it
yeah.
I
the
could
one
watch
with
any of those all the
the
time, but I do
Leonardo
love Moulin.
DiCaprio one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Oh,
You
cool.
can kind of tell, like
Yeah.
she said, the way he shoots. It's
You can
very
tell it's
Yeah.
him.
Well, now
Baz,
that you
yeah.
say it, I totally
Yeah.
can. Yeah, but I didn't
Mhm.
even realize. Huh. That's cool.
I
Okay.
like
It's
those.
a great choice.
Those are your two?
Yes.
Okay. So I also went with, even though I do like the movie Amelie, and I've seen some French films, I actually went with Nothing French, but they all take place in France. And one of my favorites is Ratatouille.
Oh,
That was on my list too.
Because I just think that's such a cute movie, and I love
Oh, that's
anything to
so
do with
cute.
cooking. So that little rat
That's
cooking
adorable.
is great. And
That
then
makes
there
me
was
think of Everything Everywhere All at Once too, with the Raccacoonie.
oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. And then there's an old I don't know if you guys remember this movie, a romantic comedy from the 90s, from 1995, called French Kiss, starring Meg Ryan and Kevin Kline. Do you remember this? I used to watch this
I love
movie
both those
over
actors.
and over, and it was like, so Meg Ryan has a fiance who had to fly to France. She's scared of flying, so she doesn't go with him, even though he's trying to get her to go. So he, I guess, has an affair with a woman in France, falls in love. Anyway,
Like, I'll
she has
show
to fly to
her.
go get him. What'd you say?
Like, I'll show her.
Yeah. So she's like, I want my man back. So she finally gets on a flight, and she's sitting next to Kevin Kline. And we find out he's like a jewel thief, and he is smuggling this necklace, but he uses her to smuggle
I
it.
have
It's
seen
funny,
this.
and it's great.
No, I've
Yeah.
seen it. Now that you're talking about it, I have absolutely seen it.
You said Meg
We
Ryan?
used to watch the
Meg
most
Ryan.
inappropriately themed films when we were younger, like
I
in the
know.
80s and
I know.
90s, I swear.
Well, like you said, the 90s was great. I actually can't wait because when we return, we will be doing them season 2, which is 90s, and I have some fun 90s questions. I'm so excited for them.
Oh,
I'm
yay.
excited for that.
Yes.
I can't wait. Yeah, I had a movie like that I watched over and over when I was younger. Do any of you remember the Woman in Red with Kelly LeBrock and Gene Wilder? Or are you too? I'm
Oh.
probably too old.
I don't
You're not-
Oh my God,
know,
it was
but I like
I
Gene
remember
Wilder.
I know who
but I
they
never
are, but I
never saw it. Yeah.
I love Gene Wilder.
Oh, they showed it over and over on HBO, and I think I watched it every time it was on. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just
Yeah,
my
they were
showing
just-
my age.
I don't know why. They were just some weird. I think that was still in the time when I still liked romantic comedies. And I like some of them now, but some of them are just, they're
Yeah.
not as good as they used to
They
be.
are
Eh.
not. They
No,
are
Yeah.
not.
no,
Mm-mm.
I agree.
No. And then I just had one honorable mention, and the people who watch this show will know exactly what I'm talking about, but it is the France episode of Absolutely Fabulous, season 1, where Patsy and Eddie do a trip to the French countryside. It's one of the funniest episodes because they get so drunk on French wine and they're in the wrong house, and it's just great.
I don't
And I love it.
specifically remember that episode, but that show you just totally brought up like
I love that show.
so many memories of me watching that late at night in my room.
Yes. I still watch it. I think it's on Hulu.
Oh my gosh. Well, did you see the movie?
Yeah, I've seen all the movies.
I liked it. I
Mhm.
thought it was really good.
I know when I went to see the movie, it was only playing at one little indie film here when it first came out. So I
Mhm.
saw it like the day it came out, and I was in there,
Oh my gosh.
and there were all these women like, "Why are you here? You're not old enough to know this show." I was like, "Oh, but I am." I I was little watching inappropriate stuff too. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but I love those two. They're
They're
so great.
so funny together.
All right. Well, I guess we can jump into this crazy French film then. The perfect wine for this intense film is Mercury from Burgundy, France, made by Domaine Laurent Dufauler. This Pinot Noir varietal is an intense red wine with heavy emphasis on red and black fruits. This medium-bodied wine with flavors of cassis, raspberry, and blackberries meld together beautifully along with tones of leather and wood. Pair this wine with roasted beef, pork, and chicken dishes. Enjoy! For more information about us and all of the wines that we feature, visit our website at fearandwine.com. And make sure you follow Fear and Wine wherever you listen to podcasts so that you don't miss a new episode. And if you like us, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Thanks! It is called Mads, and it was 2024 French horror film written and directed by David Moreau. I'm probably going to butcher some of these French names as well, so just bear with me. It stars Lucille Guillaume, Laura Pavey, Milton Ritchie, Yovel Lukowski, and it has a 6.4 on IMDb. And like I said, it's famous for being an 88-minute, tension-filled horror film that was filmed in one long tracking shot with no edit cuts. So I have seen some other French horror films now. So far, I've seen 4. We did Red Rooms. There's
Right.
this one, Mads. I've seen High Tension. That was French, right?
Oh yeah, so
yeah.
good.
Okay.
Oh,
That one's the
yeah.
most disturbing of the ones I've seen.
I agree.
And then I watched Ugly Stepsister, and that was all
I
French.
haven't watched that yet. They're really pushing it on Shudder.
Shudder,
Did you
mhm.
like it?
Yeah, it was. I liked it. It kept my attention the whole time, but there's some gross stuff, but it really held my
Oh,
attention. Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
I might
You'll-
put it in there then.
But well, I will say, of the 4 I've watched, the French are really good at creating tension and just making you feel like you're on the edge at all
Mhm.
times. It's
Yeah.
not- like you can't look
Yeah.
away, but your body. I notice as I watch these movies, my body just gets tense.
Is it like
Mhm.
music too, or just from just the
sometimes the music,
visuals?
it's really the visuals.
Okay.
Because I
Hitting
don't
your
know what's
stomach.
gonna happen next. They really don't
Yeah.
let you know. Like, I feel like with American films, especially American horror, you're like, oh, this is about to happen. Like, you
Right.
can just kind of
Yeah.
feel it, and the music helps with that, with cueing you in what's about to happen. This one, I don't know, the music doesn't add anything to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
that
don't
High
like
sense
tension
that
was like
because
that
I
too.
kind of need the
Mhm.
music to cue me in on when I need to cover my
to look
eyes, so-
away. Exactly.
Oh.
This one, yeah,
Okay.
like
I don't know how I feel about this.
high tension doesn't tell you when to look away, but just really just look away for all of it. But
Okay, just don't turn it on. Got it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I made the
For
mistake
sure.
of watching that one late with a couple people, and then they left, and I was home alone after that all night, and that was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my
Oh.
life.
Yikes.
I know, because it is home
Yeah.
invasion-y.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
Yeah, it
is.
starts with that home invasion, and that thing's terrifying.
Yeah.
So
terrifying. Yes.
Mm.
And just some
So-
creative kills in that one. If
Would
you
not
haven't seen it and
recommend
you can
Allison.
handle gore and tension, please watch that movie. It really is
oh,
great.
it's in my top horror movies of all times for sure.
That's
sure.
high
Yeah.
tension.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't, but okay.
She needs the name to know what to stay away from.
It
Mm.
also has a really great twist. So if you're a
We
person,
might
so
have to
don't
cover
look
it.
up. I would say if people are talking about or going to watch it, don't look it up first. Just watch it because you
Mhm.
don't want the twist ruined. I don't think.
Yes. So if you haven't heard of it or seen it, now is your time because we might cover it because there are some cool twists
Okay.
in this. So
Yeah, there
Okay.
are actually.
So, but I will say for this movie, though, one of the things that made me tense and uncomfortable was how much people got on my nerves in this film. There's so many, every single cast member at some point, I wanted to slap or just shake the shit out of them and be like, get it together,
Oh no.
please. And
Oh,
that
that
was
sounds
where
fun.
I was on edge. Yes. You guys could watch it. It really isn't extremely gory at all. It's just tense.
It's
That's-
Mads with an S.
Yeah.
Mads. Okay.
Not even too many jump scares, but there's just a lot of, oh my gosh, please just pull it together. We can get through this. And they just won't do it. Okay, so I will go ahead and start. The movie begins with our main character, and his name is Romain, like the lettuce. And he is just leaving his dealer's house where he has picked up a bunch of drugs for the night, and it's his birthday. He's going to go meet up with some friends, and they're going to just turn up for the night. So, of course, while he's at the dealer's house, he has to try some samples of the drugs. I don't know what all he's taking. It's a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure it's mostly uppers because he is just tweaking out and like crazy when he gets in his car. So he gets in his convertible. He's high as hell. And we watch him drive from his dealer's house, and he's trying his best to stay in the lines, but it's very difficult. He's all over the road because he's so high. And cocaine was for sure one of the drugs. Meth also possibly. I'm not sure. There's a lot of sorting of stuff in this. So Romain is driving down a 2-lane road with these big fields on both sides, and that's when the graphic titles appear. And they did this really cool, and I'm pretty sure it was done in post, and it's not a practical structure that they built. But so on either side of the road, you have in one field MA, and then the road in between it, and then DS. But it's like the Hollywood sign, like huge letters. But instead of like the white Hollywood words, they're black, and I don't know, it looks really cool. They're like 25 feet high, and he just drives between the two words, and that's how the titles appear. I thought it was really neat. So he's continuing down the street, and he lights up a cigarette for the drive. Thankfully, there aren't too many other cars on the road because in this drugged up behind the wheel attempt at multitasking, he drops the cigarette, so now his crotch is on fire, and he's swerving and panicking, trying to put that out. So he pulls over to get the fire out and make sure he hasn't burned the upholstery. And once he gets out, I guess it hits him how high he is because he just kind of like leans back in the seat and puts his head down and just kind of laughs. It's like, whew, I'm okay, but he's super high. And then suddenly something quickly jumps onto the hood of his convertible and scurries across it and then jumps off. Now, I will tell you, I know. I'll tell you this. I rewound this moment a few times, and I swear each time I watch it, and if you want to watch it and see something different, I don't know what to tell you guys. But I swear that what I saw scurrying across his hood was either an Arctic fox or a small white wolf. And so I immediately thought we are going to deal with shapeshifters. Awesome.
Ooh,
Those
right.
are cute though.
Wait, so you still
See,
to
I would've
this
thought how
point don't
cute.
know what it is?
No, we're going to find out what it is in 2
Oh,
seconds,
well,
but I
good.
still
Okay.
think it
Oh.
was an Arctic fox or a white wolf. But the fact that
Arctic
no
foxes are
animals ever
adorable.
show back up, aren't they cute? They're the cutest little thing.
They are.
Yes.
But the fact that it's not about shape shifting at all and no
Oh.
animals show back up, I guess that was just
Oh.
me.
Okay.
Or they thought that was going to be a thing and then decided to scrap it. I don't know. But I'm telling you,
I
I
need
saw
to
a
go back and
tail.
look now. Okay.
So everyone else is going to watch and be like, no, Kelly, it was this woman. So what happens is
Oh.
when he looks up, he sees there is a woman sitting in front of his bumper, and she has her head all bandaged up and one eye is covered. And he shakes his head, assuming he's just having some weird trip and he's not really seeing this. But when he looks again, this same woman covered in rags and bandages, clearly looking like she has escaped from a hospital, she has now jumped into his passenger seat. Right. No
Wait,
animal.
so he just like blinked and all of a sudden she's in the car?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, it was a
No.
long, like, drug blink. So, it's like a really slow blink.
Could have been like
That's
30
true.
minutes.
He is
driving on all these drugs.
Oh, yeah,
He's
he's driving. Yeah, so he's pulled
He's an
over
idiot.
because
Okay.
he burned his
All
crotch
right.
with the cigarette, but he's about to drive
Gotcha.
again.
That's okay. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure he's on the drugs already, though, and he's
Oh, yeah.
driving on them. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
He's on
For
that
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, so once she gets in the car, so right here, I would have not been able to be a good Samaritan. She clearly needs help, but she also needs help outside of my car. She needs like professional help, and I will make all the phone calls to authorities, and that's what he does, but you have to get out of my car.
Right.
She is panicked, and she's trying to communicate with Romaine through pointing and hitting him and grunting, and he wants to help her, but he's high and very confused. So he calls the police, and they tell him to wait where he is, and they'll come to him. But he's like, no, I don't have that kind of time, and I'm super high, and that's going to cause a whole other set of issues. So he just decides he's going to just drive her to a hospital. He tells her that that's where he's going to take her, and she's terrified, and she's insisting no. She just keeps shaking her head no violently. She does not want to go there. She takes out this tape recorder from somewhere, by the way, because I don't see a purse on her or pockets on anything that she's wearing, but out of nowhere this tape recorder
It's like
comes
tucked
out.
into her bandages.
Right, maybe. Yeah. And she hits play for him. And there's a man's voice on the tape, and it says, subject 39, female, age between 20 and 25, nationality unknown, blonde hair, blue eyes, height 1.77 meters. Romaine tells her that he does not understand what's wrong or what she's trying to tell him. And while the tape is going, she's opening her mouth and pointing to her tongue to show him that her tongue has been removed.
No.
I
Not the
know.
tongue.
And the voice on the tape continues, extraction of the teeth and excision of the tongue and salivary glands as safety measures.
Yikes.
Hey, before you
Uh-huh.
continue, this is not anything like Human Centipede, is it?
It is not.
Oh, thank God. Okay. You can keep going then, because I was just going to exit if it was.
If it was, I would have sent you guys a note being like, 10 minutes in, I cannot watch this movie. I'm picking something else.
Right.
No. It's not that.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the voice continues, and it says, contamination achieved after injections with retrovirus infected blood. Romaine tells her, I'm going to take you to the hospital. They can help you there. And she starts screaming and shaking her head no and banging her head violently over and over again against the center console. She then opens up his glove compartment, and she just starts rifling around in there and throwing shit everywhere around his car like she's looking for something. Romaine is now panicked, and he doesn't know what to do, but he just keeps driving. And then out of nowhere, the lady flings herself backwards into his lap so that she's looking up at him, and she starts stabbing herself in the throat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. This is a very crazy, intense movie.
No.
And I'm
What are
still
we, 3 minutes in?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so now there's blood everywhere. It's all over him. It's all over his car, and he's freaked out, and he keeps trying to wipe the blood off of him. So here's the thing. I've not done a lot of drugs, especially any that are speed related. Like weed is where I top off. So I don't know. I don't know how this feeling, like this happening, might also coincide with you being super high on coke or possibly meth. So I think with the way he's acting, I was like, why are you keep wiping your face? Because he's just smearing the blood around, and he just keeps trying to like clean himself by wiping his face, and he can't stop touching his face. So is this also part of being high? Like, what are you doing? He just keeps.
It's got to be.
Yeah, sometimes I think the sensations are really heightened. Like,
Yeah.
think about how when people do meth, like a lot of times they'll feel things like crawling in their skin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
You
because you
know?
hear stories of them like gouging out their
Yeah.
eyes or whatever.
Yeah, or like just picking at their skin a lot. Maybe he's just like feeling it
Oh,
really
okay.
intensely. I don't know.
That could be
Yeah.
it. But he was just like his reactions. And I get that you'd want to wipe the blood off, but he just starts smearing it on his face trying to wipe it
Oh,
off. And it's like,
ooh.
this is a really ineffective way of wiping blood off, but he's also very high.
Yeah.
So now the stabbing of her throat does not seem to kill her right away, because he gently nudges her and she just sits back up in her seat, and she's kind of slumped over like she's dying, but she's not dead. And then bam, there's a quick jump scare, and she is awake again, and she lunges for his throat and bites him.
Oh no.
And the bite, I know, the bite's not enough to cause any real damage at all. but it scares him, and it looks like she did get a scratch on him and possibly broke the skin. So now her blood has definitely gotten in and on him. And if it didn't do it that way, it's all over his mouth from him wiping it everywhere.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Probably in his
Zombie?
eyes.
Is it a zombie?
Kinda-ish. Kinda, but not really. I think more along the 28, since Leah has taught me the difference between the zombies and true zombies and the 28 days later zombies.
Yeah.
It's more like that. Like you already heard that this is some sort of blood pathogen that they've given these
Okay.
people.
Have
so
you
they're
seen
testing something.
28 Days Later, Allison?
Not now, Leah.
Well,
That's a silly
I don't
question.
know. You
No, I have
sometimes
not.
you get brave. So in that movie, there's like a rage virus that goes through them. So
Okay.
even though they kind of act like zombies, they, I guess, technically aren't really referred to as zombies.
Right.
And in
Oh.
I
that
want to watch the
movie,
new one.
they're terrifying because that's the first time I remember seeing something that was like a zombie that could like run fast. And
Oh,
so
okay.
you think it's
Mhm.
like gonna be slow zombies coming after you, but then they start running full speed, and it's so scary.
I can't
Yeah,
do
so-
fast zombies. I mean, I don't even like slow zombies, but I am
I know.
not doing fast zombies
No.
ever.
Really? Yeah. No.
So it is
Never.
like
I'm
that, but
running
these
into
aren't
the
the
crowd.
undead. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
either way.
But I think
Well-
it's also a virus related too. Like I said, they're doing these tests on people. I believe that they intentionally or capture people and gave someone a virus. I don't think
like
they just
rabies
caught
or
it.
something.
Yeah, almost like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, her blood is definitely in him, on him in some sort of way. But she looks like she is just passed out. So I think he thinks that she's dead. And it's really hard to say at this point. So now Romaine is crying and he's shaking and he's trying to wake her up. And he thinks she's dead or soon will be. So I guess he's like, well, there's no point in taking her to the hospital because he just goes home.
Oh.
Right. Now, mind you, he lives with his father still. And this is apparently his father's car. So his mind quickly moves on from there's a dead woman next to me to, oh my gosh, what's my
About to
dad
be in
going to think?
trouble.
Right.
Mhm.
When he sees his car like this. And he's too high to deal with any of this right now. So he just throws a shirt over her head and pulls into the garage.
That's not funny, but it is.
I know. It's the weirdest choices these people make in this movie.
It's like when people hit somebody and then they leave them in the windshield and go home and like
Yeah.
park in their garage.
These are people on drug
Drug
choices.
choices.
That's
Kelly.
right. I
Yeah,
gotta
for
keep
sure.
remembering he's
Yeah.
on drugs. Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
These aren't normal choices.
Mhm.
So he just leaves her body in the passenger seat in the garage and he goes inside and he cleans up and regroups. So Romaine goes and he takes this crying shower and he's just sitting there weeping in the shower while the water washes over him. And the phone rings and it's his father and he's asking him to look up some flight information that he needs for his flight in the morning. So his dad's out of town for work and he tells him where he left the info in the kitchen. He says, I'll be home by midday tomorrow and then when I get back, we can go to lunch. So they seem to have a nice little relationship because his dad's like, oh, we can go to that place we went to last time. But his father can also tell in his voice that something is wrong, and his son isn't really paying attention because Romaine asks him to repeat where in the kitchen the info is again. And his dad's like, I just told you, are you doing this on purpose? And his dad's like, have you been drinking? Did you go out last night? So it seems like he's aware to some extent that his son likes to party and maybe isn't the
Mhm.
most responsible person. Romaine finds the info and sends it to his dad, and his dad says, thanks, happy birthday, son.
Oh.
Romaine is now all cleaned up, but he's still in a panic, and I think he's not fully sure if he is just having a bad trip still or if this is real or not because it's just so bizarre. And does he really have a dead woman in his garage right now? So he goes back out to his car in the garage, and guess what? There's no woman. She's not there.
Shut
Should've
up.
guessed.
The car is empty.
Yay.
There's still
Sorry, I'd be
blood
happy if
everywhere
there
in
wasn't.
it.
Is the
There's blood
t-shirt still there?
Oh.
Did
Yeah.
you leave the
Oh,
t-shirt?
the blood's there.
The
Okay,
blood's there.
never
So
mind.
there, yeah, I know. It's not like it was a bad trip. There's
It's not a hallucination.
Nope.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But the woman's gone. But this part is a little funny because he starts searching all around the car and the garage, and he looks under the car to like where could she be, and he can't find her anywhere. And that's when the doorbell rings. And at the door is the most intensely annoying and overdramatic woman I have ever seen in a film that wasn't in the 30s. Like she's that level of melodrama. She immediately got on my nerves just as soon as she walked in the house, just the way she walked in. I knew she was going to be the worst, and she
Ugh.
is.
And you know there's people in real life like that too. Like it's
Yeah,
like when
I
you
think
meet them,
that's-
you're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. That's just how you know. It's just like, oh, just energy when they enter the room. You're like, oh,
Yes.
God.
Yes.
This is Anna, and this is his girlfriend. And she walks in and immediately asks him why he hasn't been answering her texts. And she kisses him and then goes on about how she's pissed about how bad her day has been. She lost 100 euros that her dad gave her. I don't know. She's going on about something. And then she asks him for money. Then she tells him that she wants to go do a line of coke in his bedroom, and she's also insinuating that she wants to get high and have sex, and he is just not in the mood for that right now. He
No
tells her,
happy
"No,
birthday?
no, right? No happy birthday. You're right.
Aw.
She never said
Jeez.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
So he says, "You stay here. I'll go get the coke." And Anna's not happy about not getting her way, so she goes out to the pool and she makes a phone call and has a cigarette while she waits for him. And this is a great shot that they did in this movie. It's a very tense moment because she's sitting down close to the edge of the pool, but with her back to the pool. And they have those lights. You know, pools have lights and they'll change colors.
Mhm.
So this one is like going like deep reds and oranges. So it makes you think that at any second there's going to be a jump scare and something's going to come out of this pool and grab her. Nothing happens.
Oh.
But I know, but the whole time I was just
But
on
it's
the edge waiting.
tense,
It's like,
yeah.
it's going to happen. Nothing happens.
It's like when you, well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if it was the Jaws trauma, but I feel like
Mhm.
even now as an adult, if I'm swimming in a pool at night, I'm just like, are you sure there's not a shark in here? Like, I just always
Yeah.
have that tense feeling like there's something in the water with me.
And also, like,
Yeah. No, it's
I
like
think
edging you with tension.
it
Yeah.
is because you think, well, who sits with their back to a pool? You usually go out to the pool
Yeah.
to look
Right.
at the water. So she
Crazy.
just the way she's
Mhm.
sad is like something's gonna get her.
Like, that's
But
the
no.
prime setup for,
Mhm.
something to
But
pop
in
out.
America, something would have gotten her.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
something
Like
would
when
have
that
happened.
shark got Samuel L. Jackson in Doobley.
Yes,
He
that's
was making
exactly
that
what it was
speech,
like.
and he just came up behind him and
That's still one of the best cinematic moments of all time is that Samuel L. Jackson speech in Deep Blue Sea.
I like that movie.
Yeah. So Romaine calls her to come back inside, and they have this quick back and forth of, no, you come here, no, you come here, a few times finally, and then she gets up and goes in. She's just being argumentative for no reason. There's no reason she couldn't just go inside. I don't know. She's just being difficult. So she goes inside, and she's still smoking her cigarette, and he quickly snatches it out of her hand and puts it out because there's no smoking in the house. Now, in this moment, because it's nighttime now, they're doing that thing that they only do in horror films where you're in a house, it's just dark AF for no reason, and they have lights. But for some reason, they won't turn on any lights. It's the only light in the kitchen is that little night light that you leave on over the stove or the sink.
Mhm.
Normal people don't do this. When you're at home and especially when you have guests, you turn on an adequate amount of lighting.
Right.
You just do. It's just the weirdest thing that only happens in horror films. Anna can tell that Romaine is acting strange and he seems a bit tightly wound, and so she asks him what's wrong. And he tells her that he's not going to go to the party, and he hands her the Coke. She opens it and complains that it's wet.
Ugh.
And she's like, "Did you take it in the shower with
No.
you?" Now, he didn't take it in the shower with him. So I'm thinking, is it wet with blood? But
Oh.
she doesn't mention anything about it being red. So
Yeah,
maybe it's
maybe
just wet from the shower and I missed it. I
was he
don't know.
sweating a lot?
He could have been.
Hmm.
He could have been, but it's wet, so I don't know. But it doesn't really bother her. And she asks him, "Well, why aren't you going to the party?" And she tries to convince him to go with her. And it seems like he's already half dressed for the party to me because he's wearing this white silk blouse and he has
Oh.
it unbuttoned to just below his chest, but he has on gray sweatpants. So he's like half in, half out. He could go either way. I was like, I don't know. Is he going to go? Because he's
He's like,
half
I'm not
dressed for it.
sure.
Yeah. Like he changed his mind midway through.
Right.
He's like, I'm not going to go. Then outside, a horn starts honking, and it's their friends in a pickup truck to take them to the party. And this truck has way too much halogen lighting on it. It's just really bright, and the friends are being obnoxious, and they're honking the horn over and over and flashing the lights and bumping the bass, and they're just doing a lot in this neighborhood. So Romaine, and it's in a nice residential neighborhood, so he comes out and he's pissed because he knows that his neighbors are going to complain to his dad. And his friends are just being loud and drunk and they're high on stuff already. They're calling him a pussy and telling him to just get in the car. So at that moment, we noticed that Romaine has started to develop a strange twitch that he did not have before. And he just randomly starts shaking his head quickly and jerking and stretching his neck. And it happens for a moment, then it goes away. And then it pops back up and goes away. So throughout this movie, for the rest of the time we see Romaine, this twitch is going in and out. Now, it could be something from drugs because his friends do not seem to notice it. But they're also high, so maybe they're just not noticing anything. They all seem very self-absorbed, so they just might not notice
Mhm.
anything.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. So then Romaine's like, "Okay, fine. Just shut up. I'll get in the truck and I'll go with you guys. But just please stop being dicks to the neighbors and just be quiet." So he runs back inside, not to change his pants like I thought he was going to, but to turn on the alarm. He goes to his alarm panel and he swipes through and he takes a quick look at each room that has cameras in it to see if he can see this woman, but he sees nothing. So he sets the alarm and locks up. All the while, the twitching is periodically popping up. And this, like I said, this twitching will just keep going on as the night goes on. Romaine gets in the truck and hops in the bed of the truck and sits next to Anna. And When he gets on there, 3 other people in the bed of the truck are talking about how they all share each other as a group of friends and there's no jealousy and they just kind of pass each other around
Oh,
essentially.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
A
very
lot going on in
progressive
this movie.
French people. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And as they head to the party, they're also passing around a bag of Coke and they each do a bump except Romain, who has, again, too much going on in his head already. Anna does not love this non-partying Romain, and she asks him why is he acting so weird. And he keeps getting distracted by his streetlights that they pass, and he seems to be mesmerized by them. He finds them beautiful or something, and he's not answering Anna. So she starts grabbing his face, saying, "Look at me." She's like, "Well, is it me? Did I do something wrong?" So now she's making this all about herself. And she starts rubbing his chest and trying to kiss him, and he's just not interested. She keeps grabbing his face and forcing him to look at her. And she's like, "Tell me I'm the most beautiful woman you've ever seen." And of course he doesn't, because these lights are much more beautiful to him right now. So she tries this new tactic that I think is supposed to be sexy, but to me it is not at all. It might be hot in France, but I don't want any part of this. She is putting her fingers in his mouth and then forcing kisses on him. I think it's
Okay.
supposed to look sexy. I don't know. It was gross to me. It's like, get your fingers.
Right,
Nobody
that's
better
gross.
ever stick their fingers in my
Please
mouth. I
don't.
swear to God, I'm gonna slap you
You
in your
guys,
face.
we are so
Please.
different.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. And he has no response to it. It's just like he's just doesn't even notice it. So they pull up at the party, and I'm immediately reminded of these types of house parties from being in college, and I hated them then. This was like a mini trauma moment for me. It's like, oh my God, I'm so grateful I'm not in my early 20s anymore because I hated going to these parties.
Oh.
I know. I was always boring. I always wanted to be home. Sorry, guys.
I've always been like a little old lady. It's fine.
They walk into the party, and Romain is twitching a bit, and he's looking around, and he gets separated from Anna. And as he's walking through the crowd, people are telling him happy birthday, and he looks like he's just trying to find a place to escape. There's a lot of touching happening at this party, which I think that's a thing with like MDMA. I think from what I hear, you be like touching people or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
Oh no,
'cause-
wait, I don't know. Sorry.
because and I only noticed that because for me, as someone who doesn't really like to be touched, I was like, why? There's a lot of like touching. Can you tell me happy birthday without like caressing my arms or shoulders? Like just say happy birthday.
Noted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't need to just be randomly groped.
She does not like being touched.
So it looks uncomfortable.
I'm gonna remember
to
that
me.
for the future. I swear I didn't know that.
I don't mind being. It's not like if you're hugging someone, hello. I feel like there's an appropriate amount of touching, but I don't need. And this comes from my best friend, who I talk about all the time. He has this thing, and he's not as bad about it anymore. When we were younger, he could not talk to anybody. It wasn't just me, without like rubbing your arm, rubbing your shoulders, like a massage, and it was just like
My mom does.
it's like
My
it's
mom
a
touches
lot.
people like that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot. Please stop. And that's
She
why
touches
that's why I got on my
waiters
nerves.
always or waitresses. Yeah.
Yeah, does she?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Just like the gentle arm pat or something, or
She kept doing it during COVID too, and I kept having to remind her that you're not supposed to touch people right
6
now.
feet, 6
So
feet.
can you just chill
Right.
on that? But yeah, no.
Yeah,
She
and the
couldn't
gentle
stop.
arm pat is fine when you're like, "Oh, honey, trying to get someone's attention," but it's like I'm actively talking to you right now. I don't need to be like have
Right.
my back rubbed or whatever you're doing. Just talk, just speak. Stop touching me.
And now I do it on purpose because I know she.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So for me, I wouldn't last 5 minutes at this party, even if I wasn't infected with something. I'd be like, I gotta go.
Mhm.
So Romain finds a room to escape to, and he finds this Halloween monster mask on the wall, and he puts it on. I think just to like stop people from bothering him.
Mhm.
So he's now alone in the bathroom, and he's trying to collect himself, and he starts crying because his twitching is getting more and more intense. And suddenly he hears over in another bathroom down the hall, Julia and Anna, and Julia is Anna's best friend, and they're having girl talk as they get ready to blow some rails, I guess. This is the reason I was confused before, because Anna takes out the bag of what I assume this whole time was cocaine and pours out the powder and gets it ready for them to snort, and she apologizes to her friend because it's wet, like how she had mentioned before. But then when we look at it, what she's poured out, it is red.
Oh.
But they
Ew.
don't seem bothered by this at all. So could it be something else that they crushed up that's supposed to be red? I don't know, but
Wait, did
nobody
you say
mentions
it's
how
meth?
it's red.
You said, right?
I
said
said it
meth?
could be meth or coke. I don't know enough about what stuff looks like.
And
Yeah, I don't either,
unless
but I
it's
know in that Breaking Bad, wasn't his stuff blue? So stuff can
Yeah.
be colored, right?
well, did
Okay,
they
but it's a
show it
powder.
in the beginning, like when he got it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So you're just assuming the whole time it's white, but
It
we
is
never
blood.
saw
Like
it
we know
before.
it's blood, but they are acting like
But
they
they're
don't
acting like
know.
it's got to be
Well,
blood.
It's
because
no
it
big.
is
Yeah.
wet and
Okay.
clumpy,
Yeah.
and it was
Gross.
powdery.
Okay.
So,
Or
but they're
maybe
acting like
it's
it's not a big
like
deal.
some kind of made up drug, like for the
It could
film.
be.
Yeah.
They don't explain it, but
Okay.
it was just
I mean,
something I clocked that I'm like, that's so weird that you would be like, it's wet and it's red and nobody's gonna say
Right.
anything.
Right.
Because even Julie goes, well, we
people
don't
super
mind.
into drugs will do anything, so
True.
it's
Oh
not
yeah,
that
that's
off.
true. I've
We
seen some
don't
movies where they're like
mind.
trying to dig coke out of the carpet and do what
Yeah.
What movie was
Yeah.
that? Yeah,
Horrible Bosses when they accidentally spilled
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey's coke, probably. Yeah.
that was one of them. Hmm.
Or not Kevin Spacey, the other guy's coke. But yes, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Gotcha. Sorry. Okay, so it's red, and they're like, oh, we don't mind, so whatever. So they do it, and I'm assuming it's the red from this lady's contaminated blood. Who knows? I don't know.
Mhm.
But again, no one mentions anything about it being red. So the girl snorted, and while they're in there, Anna goes through Julia's bag and she finds a pregnancy test. Anna asks her, why do you have this pregnancy test? And Julia says, because I'm late. Anna says, but you're not sleeping with anyone. Julia says, yes, I have. And Anna's like, no, you haven't. You haven't slept with anyone for over a year. I'm your best friend. Are you keeping something from me?
I was
And
gonna say,
that's
why is
when
Anna all up in her vagina?
in her purse is
Like,
what I wanted to know first.
oh.
Yeah. But that's when Julia casually tells her, oh, but I fucked Romaine. So now remember, they're all supposed to be in this
Shut
group
up.
of cool friends that can sleep with each
Oh, that's
other.
right. That's right.
So what's the issue, right? Anna's not happy.
Mm-mm.
And she is pissed. She gets up and she just walks out of the room and leaves Julia sitting there on the bathroom floor confused. And Julia doesn't seem too stressed about it, though, because I guess if I were her, I wouldn't be either, because it seems like Anna is just prone to these sort of histrionics, and she'll eventually calm down and come back. Julia gets up to leave, and that's when she bumps into Romaine in the hallway. And the two of them start making out. So I don't know if him finding out he might be a father turned him on or something, but
Oh,
yeah.
Is he out of the monster mask?
Yeah, he's out of the
Okay,
monster
okay.
mask. Yeah.
you're so right
he's
about these
kissing her.
awful choices. I'm sorry, I just have to say, like, I get
Right?
it, what you were
You see who are you like? There's so many times I just want to
No,
slap
but
these people.
yeah, everyone too. You're right. It's literally everyone. So
Mhm.
they're in their 20s, though. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
this is how people in their early 20s
Early
act.
20s,
So
yeah.
Mhm.
They still live with their parents type of early
yeah.
20s, yeah.
Mhm.
So so they're making out, and as he's kissing her, you can tell he's kind of fighting between the real Romaine and the monster this infection is kind of changing him into, essentially. And Julia notices how aggressive he's being, and she pushes him off of her. And when she does that, his eyes are glowing in the dark, and she tells him that she can tell something's wrong with his eyes. So he rushes back into the bathroom to see, but when he looks in the mirror, because he's now in the bathroom where there's a little more light, he can't see it. So I guess it really only shows up in the dark.
Hmm.
And it's just then that Romaine gets a call from his father. His dad asks him where he is because the alarm in their house is going off, and he needs to enter the code in the panel to stop it. Romaine tells his dad, okay, I'm on my way there. I'll be there in like 3 minutes to shut it off. And his dad's like, wait, you're not home right now? But I see someone moving in the camera. Someone's in the house.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Romaine walks through the party's main dance floor to get out, and his eyes are glowing and his nose is bleeding now. And they have these bright strobe lights going. And this makes him kind of like slow down through the party because he's attracted to these lights, and he starts walking slowly towards them. But that's when Anna comes out. She sees him and she wipes the blood away from his nose, and she starts kissing him, which distracts him for a moment from the lights. But she's pissed at him. So when she kisses him, she bites him really hard. And this makes him turn and run from her, and he goes outside. Once outside, some random dude sees him that he knows, but this guy, again, with the touching, he just starts touching him and grabbing him, and he's trying to pull him somewhere to show him something, or I don't know what he's trying to do. He's just like, come with me, but there's a lot of touching going on. And so Romaine doesn't like it, and he just hauls off and punches the guy. And he gets him on the ground, and he just starts beating him over and over. And finally, some people come and pull him off of the guy. And the first person to try and pull him off is Julia. And then he just tosses her, and she kind of lands on the ground. And then she like looks up, and she's just shocked that a man already enraged beating someone would dare to push her aside out of the way. It's like, man, what did you think?
Right.
How did you think that was going to go?
And you
You're
think
not
you're
strong enough.
possibly pregnant? Why would you step in the middle of this fight?
It's a tiny woman. Why are you trying to grab this grown man?
Yeah.
It was weird. So Romaine goes back inside, try and find another way out of the house. And I do want to point out, though, that through all of this white silk blouse is holding up very well. It has yet to get a stain on it. No grass stains, nothing.
No blood?
No blood yet. No.
Wow.
I was like, wow, this is a nice blouse. Because the pants have blood on them, the sweatpants. But
Oh.
so, yeah, I don't know if it's like a French stain-resistant silk, but I'm very interested in this fabric. So he gets outside to the front of the house, and he starts walking towards home. As he's walking, he calls the alarm company to have them shut off the alarm for him. And the lady at the alarm company says, I can't deactivate it for you. You need to enter the code on the panel. So now he starts yelling at her because she won't just turn it off. And she's like, look, you have two options. I can call the police for you, or you can turn the alarm off yourself. Which do you want? And he's like, I don't want the police to come because he may or may not have a dead or injured woman in his house. He doesn't know for sure. And again, he's also on drugs. As he's walking home, he finds this sweet dirt bike somewhere at someone's house, and he just takes it and hops on. And he starts pedaling for his life back to the house. Again, remember, there's no edit, so now we have to watch this entire bike ride.
Oh, right. I
Right.
didn't think about that.
Yeah. And he's still on the phone with the alarm lady, and she keeps telling him to enter the code. And he keeps telling her, I'm not at home yet. So why she had to be told this
So
3 different
funny.
times, I don't know. So this is the moment where I wanted to slap the alarm lady. And we only having a voiceover for her. I'm not even seeing her. But I'm just like, he's not home. He'll tell you when he gets home and he'll turn it off. Like, stop
Right. Or
repeating
why
that.
can't he like hang up and be like,
I don't
I'll
know.
call you back when I get there?
Because she might call the cops. I think he wants to make sure he does
I
not call the
see.
police. Yeah.
Okay.
So he gets home, deactivates the panel, and then she gives him a condescending thank you, good night, and then hangs up. So Romain now just collapses on the floor. He's out of breath. He's crying. And that's when his dad calls and asks Romain, okay, what did they take? First of all, if you really think there's thieves in your house, why did you send your son home? Why not just tell your
Yeah,
son, go to
that's
the cops or call
true.
the police, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well,
You saw
also,
an
too,
intruder on camera.
he's got
Mhm.
cameras in this whole house and alarms. How is there not one in the garage? Like where
Oh,
you know what I mean? If there was like an entrance into the house there,
but you're
you would
right. Once that door opens from the garage to the house, it'll go off. Yeah, you're right. But if you're just moving in the garage, I don't know that it would. I don't know. So Romain's like, no, everything's fine. They didn't take anything. And then all of a sudden, he hears this crazy, maniacal, dark laughter come through the phone. So I don't think it was really his
Oh.
father. I think it's part of, now he's kind of hallucinating. I think it's whatever's going on in his mind and body, he's hearing that. So he just hangs up the phone. And now he hears noises in the kitchen. So he gets up and he goes into the kitchen to check it out. And it's like night one of the Paranormal Activity house in there. The faucet's on, the drawers are all open, and yet he still won't turn on any lights. We're still in the dark.
See, at that point, well, A, I'm not going into the kitchen, but B, every single light in my house would be on.
Would be on. As soon as I enter the door, we're cutting on all the lights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now he does see this flashing light in the corner, and he has found that tape recorder that sick lady had. And he presses play, and the recording continues. So now the man on the recording saying, body temperature steady and incredibly low at 33.5 degrees. So for us, that would be 92.3 degrees. Pulse way below average at 38. Pupils extremely dilated. I shall proceed with the eye test. And then you just hear screaming. And then the recording goes on to say, I have observed in the subject spectacular strength when exposed to light. The emission of photons seemed to provoke a psychological response, stimulating increased adrenaline production. This response could be attributed to a neuroendocrine modulation. So as Romain is listening to this recording, he's slowly walking through his unnecessarily dark house, and he's seeing blood on the rug and blood on the walls, and he starts to follow this trail of blood through his home, and it leads him to the bathroom. And in the bathtub, he finds the bandaged up lady from the car, and she is once again carving away at her throat.
Ooh.
Whatever this pathogen is in her does not let its victims die easily. Romain runs over to her and pulls the straight razor out of her hand to stop her, and he just drops the razor and then runs back out into the hall. And he's twitching and freaking out as all this is happening. So now the lady in the tub starts crying, but she also starts beeping, and a red light is flashing on her. So I think he also must have grabbed the recorder, and I think she picked it up.
Oh.
Yeah. So she gets out of the tub and she crawls over to Romain, and the way she moves is like a sick feral animal.
Ew.
The crawling's very creepy. You would not like it,
I
Leah,
don't like
at
that.
all. No.
Mm-mm.
It's really unnatural looking. She hands him the device, but he turns away from her. And outside of the window, we see these super bright flashlights moving around. So he knows someone is out there and he runs to hide. And outside we see people dressed in these black military or special ops uniforms and gear, and they have full face masks, and they're about to bust into the house because they need to get this woman. They set off these big flashing lights to draw the woman out because they know that she will be attracted to them, and it works. So she comes out crawling out of hiding, and she only moves when the lights come on. So these lights are flashing on and off, but they're doing it slowly. So it's a very creepy scene of her like speed
Ew.
crawling when the lights are on and then stop.
It's like the opposite of a cockroach.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's a really creepy red light, green light she's playing with these lights. Yeah.
Ew, ew.
And when she stops in the right spot, the soldiers snatch her up, and then you just hear just this barrage of machine guns as they use a lot of bullets to finally put her down.
Oh, shoot. I thought they wanted her back to do more experiments on her.
No, I think she
She's
got
just
loose. I
done.
think this just, all
Yeah.
hell is broken at now.
Ugh.
So I don't think she was supposed to get out. So these guys in the suits, they are out trying to find and kill her, and now they have to round up and kill anyone that she may have infected. So they haven't captured Romaine yet, but I think that they know. There's a lot that you have to interpret yourself in this movie, by the way,
Mhm.
because I think that they know that he's there, but they're watching him for signs of infection first, just to be sure. So Romaine takes off running from his house into the night, and apparently his house is next to a creepy cornfield because after about 10 steps from leaving his house, he's now surrounded by corn.
Of course.
Do they
it is.
have corn? I guess they must have a lot of cornfields in France.
I guess. I mean, it's not like a main down. It's not like it seems like a small town. It does not seem like a major metropolitan area they live
'Cause
in.
I'm pretty sure, wasn't there a cornfield also in High Tension?
Mm,
Or maybe that was just grass?
There was some sort of field
I don't
or
know.
forest.
Either way.
Yeah, you're right.
Cornfields
No.
are just creepy.
They are. So he does this creepy run through
Oh,
through the
definitely.
cornfield, and there's lights behind him. And once he gets into the clearing on the other side of the cornfield, he starts laughing like a maniac. And at first, I thought, okay, he's just relieved and he thinks he's safe. But then the laughter doesn't stop, and it gets crazier. And he
Ooh.
turns around and he sees the soldier's flashlight, so he knows he's not safe. But the laughter, he just can't stop laughing. And it turns out this crazed laughter is a symptom of the sickness. So now, having made it through the fields, Romaine finds himself back out onto the neighborhood streets. And he then bites himself on the arm to draw out blood. And I think he's doing this to make sure that the inspection spreads when he has the chance to, like, get in touch with someone. So this disease wants to spread itself. And so that's why these people keep making themselves bleed. He's in the street crawling around like this possessed animal on rabies or something. With this sickness hits its peak in a person, they kind of become like I said, a wild rabid animal. Just then, a black van pulls up and they capture Romaine and throw him into the van. And as soon as they close the door, you just hear several gunshots as they drive away. And as this van is driving away, they almost hit this entitled young lady walking around looking down at her phone. And she looks up just in time to not get hit, but to cuss the van out as they're driving by. And that lady is Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Anna calls Romaine's phone, and she is mad at him for beating that guy up at the party, and she's just going off and fussing. And she hears a voice responding to her, but it's not Romaine's voice. But she's so wrapped up in the yelling that she doesn't notice that it's one of those creepy modulated machine voices that they use when they like change her voice on
Oh,
the
yeah.
interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's so focused on herself, she doesn't hear that at first, and she needs to get out what she has to say. She's yelling at him about sleeping with Julia and getting her pregnant. And then Anna's Uber has arrived to pick her up. And she hops in and immediately demands that they change the temperature and make adjustments in the car right away.
This girl's pissing me off.
She is. She is the worst. She's the worst.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So now she's done talking, yelling at Romaine. So now she gets a call from Julia. And Julia is out in the streets freaking out because people are acting crazy and scary. And she's just like screaming. She's like, Anna, it's crazy. Everyone's acting so weird. And so Anna's now like, you know what? I've had a bad night too, Julia, and I'm not ready to talk with you. So there's
Anna,
just
please.
I know. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on in this Uber, and I feel bad for this driver. So now we see that Anna is starting to twitch and tweak. And she's jerking her neck from side to side, just like Romaine did at first. Anna hangs up on Julia after screaming at her, and she notices someone with bright headlights is following very closely behind them. And she tells the driver. And the driver's like, yeah, he's been following me for a minute. So he decides, weirdly, I don't know why you would ever do this, but he decides to pull over and get out and deal with whatever's going on with this car behind him.
No, absolutely not.
Right. Even, again, no infection involved. You don't need to do this in the
No.
car. Just keep driving. The driver of the other car gets out, and he immediately shoots the Uber driver. Yeah. So now Anna's like, oh, shit. So she jumps into the driver's seat and starts the car and takes off. And Anna is convinced that whatever's happening to her right now is just a bad trip. And she keeps telling herself, she's like, no, this is just a bad trip. And she's like shaking her head and slapping herself, trying to wake up. She doesn't get too far before the car's safety system stops her because the tire pressure is low. So clearly they've shot out the tires. Anna gets out of her car and she just collapses on the ground as the madness starts to take hold of her body. And she's just laying on the ground, writhing and twitching. But then the soldiers flash bright lights, and that gets her back up and on her feet. and she starts running as they shoot her from behind. And they do shoot her, like some of the shots land, but it's not enough to kill her because again they have this extra like
Adrenaline.
crackhead-like
Mhm.
strength
Yeah.
that just nothing can take them down. I think they have to be zombie-like. I think they have to be like hit in the head or decapitated or something. I think it's the only way to actually
Oh,
truly
okay.
get them to die. So Anna is able to outrun them for a bit, and she tries to call the police, but the line is busy now. So Anna heads into the downtown area, and she goes into this bar where there's 15 to 20 nice-looking upper middle-aged people, and they're singing karaoke, and they're having a great time.
Oh, hell.
I know, and she's just about to ruin their whole night. She walks up to the bartender and starts screaming at her to call the police. And then she demands that the bartender give her the keys to the place so that she can lock the door. So, of course, the bartender just hands her over the keys because this girl is twitching and tweaking and covered in blood and yelling. And it's best to just comply so that she doesn't hurt you.
Mhm.
Anna locks the door, and then she goes into the bathroom. And while she's in there, the soldiers in black just shoot through the glass because the door
Oh.
was just glass. So they just shoot that down and come on in. So there's no point in the whole locking the door fight. So while she hears this in the bathroom, so she escapes through a window, and she's now back in the streets, twitching and snarling and laughing and running amok. She then gets another call from Julia, and Julia is in quite a state. She's hollering about how some folks took her scooter, and people are after her, and she needs help, but no one will help. Everyone's acting weird. Anna tells Julia to meet her by the bridge in 5 minutes. And Julia, who is screaming, I don't think she even hears the meetup instructions because she's yelling so much. Anna, I don't know if Anna thinks she hears her, but she also doesn't care because right after she tells her where to meet her, she hangs up and then just tosses her cell phone on the ground and runs off.
Oh,
So
okay.
if Julia calls back, oh well, I guess.
Right.
So as Anna is heading to the bridge, she goes into the tunnel and she passes by a woman who's completely oblivious as to what's happening. And this woman is kikiing on the phone with her friend and doesn't right away notice that she's passing by a crazy looking girl covered in blood. Anna attacks her. She bites her and she smears blood on her so that she can get infected and then leaves the woman there crying. So they don't really attack to kill. It seems like they're just attacking just enough to open a cut or something on you or get it in your mouth so that they can just spread the virus. They don't really want to kill anyone. Anna continues her walk of terrorism to the bridge, and as she's walking towards the bridge, she is on this cute little riverwalk area, and she passes a man with his bike, and he's just chilling and looking out over the water, and she decides to take his bike. And when he tries to fight her back for it, she picks him up. She just lifts him up, like deadlifts him, and tosses him into the river.
Damn.
Oh my.
And she grabs the bike and keeps going. But it's like a little bit of her humanity keeps coming out because as she's running away with the bike, she's like crying and she's like, I'm sorry, this isn't me. But then she'll start laughing again. So it's like she's going back and forth.
Like it's just taking over and she has no
It's slowly
control.
taking over, yeah.
Mhm.
So she finally meets up with Julia, and Julia's like, whoa, what happened to you? Because she can tell that her friend is out of it and needs help. But I'm not sure if she can tell that she has the madness or maybe Julia hasn't figured out what it is because Julia isn't infected yet. I guess at some point Julia also got her scooter back because she takes her over to a scooter and tells her to just get on. They don't
I
explain a lot.
I feel like there's lots of scooters in France. I don't know.
Maybe they just grabbed a scooter.
Maybe.
And she tells her, get on and hold on. I'm going to take you to the hospital. Anna gets on the back of the scooter. And the whole time she is just like tweaking and twitching and being annoying AF on the back of the scooter. She's feeling Anna up and smearing blood everywhere. I'm sorry, she's feeling Julia up. And she's smearing blood everywhere. She can on Julia. And she's wiping blood all over her face and trying to get it in her mouth. And she keeps covering Julia's eyes while she's trying to drive.
Oh,
and she's
what?
just doing, she just won't sit still. She's doing way too much. Julia is screaming for her to stop. She's like, bitch, I'm trying to help you. Please just stop. And Anna then just bites Julia's neck. And Julia's had enough of this and she kicks her off the scooter. And she tells her, you just stay here. I'm going to go get help and bring someone back to you because I can't with this anymore. But she's crying and she feels bad because she really wants to help her crazy possessed friend. But Julia takes off on the scooter and she's screaming into the night at no one. I guess just out of frustration and confusion because she doesn't know what's happening. She then stops because she's getting a phone call. And it's her mother. Julia's mother is in a wheelchair and her mom is panicking and scared. And she says, something is happening here and I've been left alone and my wheelchair is stuck. I need help.
Oh.
I know. Julia tells her mom, I'm on my way home. I'll come and get you right now. And she hangs up and she can hear Anna's crazy ass hollering from way back there for Julia to come back and help her. She's like, I'm scared. Julia, please. And Julia hesitates for a moment and considers going back to get her. But this hesitation kind of costs her a little bit because, as we mentioned, this gives these people super strength and speed.
Mhm.
So then we see Anna sprinting down the road towards Julia, and Julia takes off on the scooter again. But Anna is damn near catching up to her. And
Oh.
it's a really scary shot. Again, because this is one shot, how they caught this is just perfect. Like you just see Anna in the distance, like coming behind her, and it's very creepy looking.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
Yeah, it was scary. Julia finally arrives to her building and she gets off the scooter, and Anna is still down the road running towards her. And Julia is not moving fast enough for me because she has to take a moment to dig around in her purse for her key.
Of course, like,
I know. But she gets it. She finds it in time and gets into her building and onto the elevator just as Anna comes crashing through the glass window next to the elevator.
oh.
So the door shut as you see like half of Anna's body through this window.
Man.
So the elevator has shut the door and it's moving. And then, of course, it stops on her way up to her floor. And now she's trapped in the elevator, which honestly might be the safest place for her to be at this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because while she's in there, she's yelling for help, but she can hear stuff happening in the building. And she hears Anna ask a neighbor where her friend Julia is. And she hears him then get attacked by Anna when he doesn't have the right answer. Yeah, and then you just hear screaming from other people as Anna is attacking this man. So Anna is on a rampage through this building. Julia then hears another lady, which is Alice, and Alice is a neighbor that would help her mom out, and Alice is asking a man for help. And the response she receives is just a bunch of bullets and machine gun fire. So I guess the soldiers have also made it there.
How thin are the walls in this elevator?
I don't
Is it
know. I
one
thought
of
it
those small ones where you like have to close the gate and like pull yourself
it's not
up
a
or
gate one. It's
something?
very modern looking, but you're right. I'm like, you can hear all this through an elevator?
Yeah.
With
Huh.
people in their own units? Like, how thin are these walls? That's a good
Right.
question.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine the stuff that they heard on the regular in that
Right.
apartment complex? Oh, Lord.
So, yeah, because this is all audio. We're just sitting here. We're in the elevator with her as she's hearing all this.
Huh. Or maybe because she was bitten, maybe her senses are heightened or something.
It could be, yeah. I didn't even think about that, yeah. So now Julia hears someone with one of those modulated voices, and they start banging on the elevator door and asking, is anyone in there? And they say, if you have been in contact with an infected person, turn yourself in immediately. You're in danger. We can help you. We can protect you. Do you hear me? And they keep banging on the door, and she will not respond. Suddenly, the lights come back on, and the elevator starts up again, and she gets to the 15th floor, and she exits and makes her way down a dark hallway towards her mom's apartment. And on the way, she passes blood-covered people crawling on the floor, reaching out for help. And then she
God.
sees the body of a soldier in black with its abdomen completely ripped open and entrails out everywhere.
Oh.
And she also has to climb some stairs. So I'm not really sure, you know how I get caught up in layouts. I'm not really sure how this apartment building is laid out because she gets to the end of the hall and then she climbs some stairs. But I don't think we're in the unit yet. I don't know. I got very distracted by this. And also, whatever is happening on these stairs, they're also doing some remodeling because the walls are lined in clear plastic tarps, Dexter style. So I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's happening. So then finally she makes it to her mother's unit, I guess. And of course, she doesn't try to turn on any lights because why?
Yeah.
She just has her cell phone flashlight going and she's calling out for her mom. And it's likely the soldiers, though, have cut the lights off in the building anyway, just to know, because they know that that's what attracts them.
Oh, that's right.
So there's a chance it wouldn't have worked anyway. And Julia's mom's place looks really nice, by the way. They have these, from what I can make out of it, I don't know. There's these huge floor-to-ceiling windows and a nice view. And when she goes to the kitchen, she turns and she sees Anna hovered over her mother's body, eating her face.
Oh,
And her mom is very dead. So Julia runs, and then she runs up some more stairs. I'm like, what kind of apartment is this?
Yeah.
Julia's mom was
weird.
living great, I guess.
And also, I mean, I'm sorry, but the top floor for someone in a wheelchair seems like
Right?
not the
I-
best place. But
Thank you. I thought that too, because I'm like, we have now hit 2 sets of stairs, and this woman is talking about how she's in a wheelchair.
right.
And spiral
Europe
stairs
doesn't
at
care
that.
about EDA compliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it. Europeans don't care about that.
Oh, yeah, that's maybe. I'm like, why did you buy this unit? What is happening? So anyway, her mom's now dead, so that's not a worry anymore, I guess. So she runs up the stairs and she runs into one of the soldiers and they're shining a bright flashlight in her face and pointing a gun at her. And they order her to stop. They tell her, do not open your mouth. The soldier tells Julia to turn off her flashlight because the light attracts them. He then tells her to open her eyes wide so that he can look for the signs of infection with the glowing eye thing. And that's when we hear Anna's voice calling, Julia. I know, and she's looking for her, and the soldier moves Julia out of the way and hides her. Julia and the soldier wait for Anna to appear, and somehow, again, like the fox thing, Anna just pops up from the ground. I don't know where she came from. I really don't.
She
I rewound
crawled,
this
I
part
guess.
again. Yeah. I don't know if she can go through walls. I don't know. Was she already up there hiding in a corner or something? But she truly came out of nowhere. And she attacks the soldier's leg. And the soldier reacts quickly, kicking Anna off, and then fires about 10,000 bullets into her head so that her face is barely recognizable by the time she's done.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
This
thankfully,
all sounds very gory.
it
Is it? Like,
it's not, they don't show it too much.
really?
Or it's like
Chewed
quick
off
moments.
faces
I
and
know.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I don't
thankfully,
know.
Anna is now dead, finally. But we see now that that soldier is limping, and Julia comes out of hiding, and the soldier tells Julia to keep her distance, and then she looks down, and we see that his leg is all cut and scratched up, and the pants have been torn, and there's a lot of blood.
Come
So
on,
Anna was able
man.
to get a bite or scratch into the soldier and infect him.
She was or she wasn't?
She was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You would think that they'd have some better,
Right, better
thicker
material?
Yeah.
I know, I thought that too, yeah.
Like you're chasing these people who are infected, you need more
I don't-
protection.
And I think whatever they're doing is so new. I don't think they're like learning. I think it's a kind of a quick learning process of what all these people can do. So
That's true.
they might not have had time to get new uniforms, is what I'm saying. So Julie asks, "Sir, please tell me what's happening." And the soldier takes off their mask, and we see that it's not a he at all. It's a woman.
Oh.
And she tells Julia, "You have to leave. We have orders to kill all of those who have had direct contact. This life no longer exists." The soldier asks Julia, "How do you feel? Is your head spinning? Are you hearing voices? Are you drawn to light?" And Julia shakes her head no. But for us, the shaking looks a little suspect. It could just be her emphatically saying no, or it could be her first signs of twitching.
Because she
It's
did get
hard-
bitten on the
Mhm.
Yeah, she
scooter.
did.
She did. And she had that blood smeared all over her face and her mouth because Anna loves, Anna loves putting her fingers in people's mouths.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Ew.
Yeah, but it's hard to say at this point. And the soldier believes that she's just saying no. The soldier tells her, "If you haven't ingested any of their blood, you're okay. Stay in the dark, use as little light as possible. The light makes them stronger."
But wait, also too, did she not do drugs in the bathroom with Anna?
Okay, I thought that too. She did. But
Okay.
I guess the coke isn't how Anna got it. Because remember, Anna was already freaking out and twitching, and Julia was still normal until
Anna bit Romain's lip, remember?
it was the biting of the lip and kissing his bloody nose.
yeah.
That's how Anna got it.
Because
So
I thought for sure when you said that the
I
drugs
thought
were
that too.
red, that it was like going to start with that, and that's how it was
Right.
going to like. Okay,
I
okay.
did too. And I don't know if this was a choice, again, a filming thing, like maybe they
Yeah.
were going that way and then they
Mhm.
just left it out. Because again, when you're
Probably.
doing one shot, you don't really go, you might not go
Right.
back and
Right.
make, because it's a small indie film. So they don't have
True.
like the budget to maybe like, let's redo that and not use the coke. I don't know. It was very confusing.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
But I'm thinking she got infected from Romaine, the kiss at that moment. And then
Mhm.
because Julia was fine until she got on the scooter because she
Mhm.
hadn't been freaking out yet. So, like I said, the soldier thinks Julia is fine. She's like, "If you haven't ingested any of it, you're okay." So then the soldier hands Julia her big gun, and she says, "In a few minutes, I will no longer be able to control myself. You need to get away from here before I hurt you." Julia says, "No, no, no, I don't believe this." And the soldier tells Julia to turn around so that she isn't looking at her anymore. And Julia turns around, and the soldier takes out her handgun and shoots herself in the head. There's a moment of silence, and then Julia starts laughing. And at first, the laughter is like she's just having a breakdown because all of this is so crazy and she just doesn't know how to respond. But then after a moment, that laughter becomes that crazed, maniacal laughter that the infected have that we saw with both Romaine and Anna. And Julia sits on the floor in front of the window and she starts twitching and she's giggling like a lunatic and she's hugging her new gun that she has. And she has her cell phone light beaming up at her. So it's like comforting her and giving her strength. And then this French song starts playing in the background, and the camera pulls out away from this close up we have of Julia. And we can see outside from these big floor to ceiling windows a shot of the whole town. And off to the side of the window, we see a huge explosion from another building. And I think the soldiers are now setting off bombs just to wipe out the entire town completely
Mhm.
because the infected have gotten to just be too many for them to control one at a time. And then there's this really pretty shot of her in front of these windows as we see flaming debris fall from the sky, and it almost looks like fireworks. And just as the screen goes black, we hear Julia scream, "Wake up!" And then that's how it ends.
What?
I know. It's I feel like it was like decide your own movie type of movie. Like you
Yeah.
make of this movie what you will.
Like we didn't even end back with
Wow.
Romaine.
No, but we know he
Right.
died in
Yeah.
the van.
He
Remember
got
the van
shot.
pulls up and you just
Oh,
hear
that's
gunfire.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like the military. And if it was military, I don't know. It might be some sort of private group that sent these
Yeah.
people out to kill him, but it's like they gave up super fast. Like we're just gonna take out the whole town.
Right.
Forget it.
They probably
We found
realized it was
five good ones. Let's just take out the whole
it
town.
was spreading too quickly for them to control. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's a wild ride.
Well, so are we left to believe that it was all a bad trip? It was like being hallucinated by these
That's the
people?
wake up part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like
Mhm.
they still think, well, the people who were infected believe that they were just having a bad trip, that they're just in a really bad dream or drug trip. But if this tape recorder is to be believed, they were infected by something. And it sounds like an experiment where they intentionally infected that first woman with something.
Wow.
And then she just got loose from the facility. So I don't know. That's why I said it's kind of like you make of it what you will. Which do you choose
The
to
tension
believe?
though, because my stomach hurts right now
I know.
after listening to you describe the story.
It's
So,
amazing to me. Like, how do they do all of these like practical effects in one shot?
I know.
Like people
Yeah.
being shot and people being thrown off of bridges and like
Mhm.
their faces being eaten and stuff. How do they do that? It's crazy to me.
Yeah. It was yeah, it was really cool. And I don't think all of it was practical. Probably in post, maybe that's as much editing as got done. Like I said, with the titles and the
Mhm.
bomb, all that stuff was probably added
True.
in post. So it's really just but you're right, like her throwing that guy off the bridge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I would like to see a behind the scenes
I
of
would
this,
too, because
you know?
even the scooter montage with the two girls, it's like,
Mhm.
how do you? They had to have done several practices of this because that could have been very
Yeah.
dangerous, jumping
Yeah.
on and off scooters, and it was
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
how
maybe
did
it's
you
just
do that?
super like what's the word? Like coordinated ahead of time.
Yeah, choreographed. I'm
Yeah,
sure a lot of it was
choreographed.
very choreographed, and like I
Yeah.
said, they didn't give them, and you could tell there wasn't the most dialogue came from that recording. Like other
Mhm.
than that, they were kind of ad libbing with each other for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I am wondering if maybe there was somewhere along the line they decided to change it because when you told us about the drugs in the beginning, I mean, that
Mhm.
seems like the perfect way to spread this
Mhm.
virus through a bunch of people is drugs at a party, you know?
Yeah, who don't care what the drugs look like.
Yeah,
So,
clearly.
and maybe maybe that was the way they were headed, and then
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe
I
it's
don't
just
know.
meant to throw you off, or who
Mhm.
knows?
Who knows? I would love, I would love to see it behind the scenes or like the writer and director, which I think I mentioned at the beginning. What was his
Yeah,
name?
yeah, the same one from
Um,
them. Right?
David Moreau. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what was he? How did he come up with this concept, and what was the thought behind it? Did it start off as something else, and then he changed it? I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Wow.
But
Interesting.
it's a fun ride, but it is tense.
It sounded pretty cool.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, just to be able to, because I know Kristen's worried about the gore. I don't think it was. I probably described it worse than it actually looked because it is quick flashes of it. But just to see, just the style of the movie and how they filmed it is why I had to watch. So,
Mhm. Well, and a
yeah.
lot of these like short, well, I don't know if it's a short, but like the
Mhm.
more indie style stuff, it is since they are on a lower budget, it's like they do use more like quick cuts to the gory stuff because they don't have the budget to show
Right,
stuff
right.
that's
So it
super
was
graphic or detailed. So it's like almost
right.
more
So
left
like
to your imagination.
while that soldier on the ground with his like stomach cut open would have
Mhm.
been like a quick like edit cut for us, it was just the camera panning over it real fast.
Yeah.
So if you had looked away, you would have totally missed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. If you watch it, Kristen, let us know what you think because
Yeah.
that sounded really,
well,
really neat.
I've seen it on. It's on Shutter,
Yes.
right? I feel like I've, you know how they have the featured ones. I feel like I've seen an image and this name on there, so I might even have it in my queue to watch at some point. So now I mean, if you think I can handle it, the gore, I'm telling you, the gore thing is the one thing
I
lately
know.
that
It
has
gets
made
ya.
me like be
Yeah.
like, yeah, it really does.
Is it more like
Ugh.
I mean, is it more like recently that you
Yeah,
feel more
yeah, it's
sensitive to
happened over
it?
time. I
Yeah.
think the world's so awful and everything's so it's my only like guess is that,
Mhm.
you know, it affects me more now because
Yeah.
I don't know, we should be desensitized though,
Right,
right? I feel like I'm
right.
hypersensitized.
That's what I was gonna say. You'd
Yeah,
think
I
it'd
don't
be the
know,
opposite.
right? I don't know.
Mm. Well, I'm with you on the
I'll
gore.
let
I don't
Kelly
like to
watch the
see it
super
either,
gory
so.
ones. Yeah, the Black Mirror episode that I picked really, it's not a really
No,
gory
it's so good.
episode. It is.
I'm excited for that one next week. Yeah.
This was
Me
fun.
too.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
excited to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
But
to go
thank you
watch.
for this because I really might watch this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just saying I have to rewatch your Black Mirror one. Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
But thanks everyone for joining us, and we will be back next week, like Kristen said, with a Black Mirror episode, and then we might have an episode after that. We're not totally sure, but we'll know more next week.
Definitely.
And
I'm so excited for the fall and excited to get more into spooky ghosts and that type of thing.
I wish I could
I
have
am
fall
too.
colors and
I
leaves
know, me
though.
too. But I'm just
Whatever.
excited for it to not be 100 degrees. Literally, my
It's
car
been
said
so
100
bad
degrees
lately.
yesterday.
It's 100 till like October though.
I
I
know.
feel like there's no end in sight at
Mhm.
this point, and this is the point where I get really angry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm
Angry
gonna
at the
let it go.
weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
boiling
Yeah,
alive.
like really mad at the weather.
Well, all of you that
I
don't
step
live in
outside and I'm like,
Florida,
really?
enjoy your cool weather that you're gonna get soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Think of
yeah.
us.
I'm so jealous.
Yes, think of us.
Please.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks.
Thanks, Kelly.
Alrighty. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
For more information about our episodes, follow us on Instagram at Fear and Wine Pod. And if you have a fun discussion question that you'd like for us to answer on the podcast, send it to us at fearandwinepod@gmail.com.